Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. We're going to take our look at September Flesh and Blood sealed box sales data off of TCG Player. I'm going to do this a little differently than I normally do. Instead of having a list of notes of things I want to plot and maybe certain stories I want to tell with these data, I'm going to go through them and you can just come along with me and I'm going to explore what's in here. So the first thing that I've put up here to start with, of course, is Welcome to Wraith Unlimited, Arcane Rising Unlimited, and Crucible of War Unlimited. That first block of sets, only the unlimited boxes. And of course, as you know, I do not cover the first edition boxes of those first three expansions because the boxes are too expensive and they do not sell often enough to give us interesting data. So we can see out here at the right side of this 2-month plot, I've put 2 months on the horizontal axis. You see out here at the right side, this big jump was the bonus buck sale that we had about a week ago now. So you can see that in total boxes sold, that the blue line of Welcome to Wraith and the yellow line of Crucible of War, they both cleared through about 60 boxes during that sale, and the red line of Arcane Rising, well, sold a hair under 40 boxes during that sale. We can go to the month-over-month table, which of course shows August boxes, the previous month, September boxes, the current month we're looking at, and the month-over-month change in the total number of boxes sold. And then it takes the average price of a box sold during August, the average price of a box sold during September, and the month-over-month change in that, and then it just multiplies it together to get those total revenue numbers. And so it's kind of interesting. I mean, these are some wild-looking numbers, but keep in mind that Welcome to Wraith sold about 60 of those boxes on the bonus buck sale. So if that bonus buck sale had not been there, this would have cleared about 100 boxes during the month. Now it still would have shown 220% increase in sales instead of 420% increase in sales. So I will say this one is significant even if you take the bonus buck sale out of it. Now, if you took the 60 boxes of Crucible of War that sold in the bonus buck sale out of here, well, it would have been a reduction for the month. So TCG Player's generosity saved Crucible of War sales on their platform for the month, we might say. And again, about 40 boxes of Arcane Rising sold during the bonus buck sale. So if you strip those out, then sales were about flat month to month. And we see the prices continue to just slowly decline. But it is good to see that during those bonus buck sale, the smart collectors are coming in, they're buying up those old boxes, the prices are down, and it's a great time to be buying. I mean, if we were to stretch this out, let's stretch this out a long way, 8 months, and let's plot that. And you can see when it peaked back here in late April, and then it's been on a slow decline since then, and it makes for a great buying opportunity. So I'm going to go back to 2 months, and we're going to put our second block of expansions up here. So Monarch first, Monarch Unlimited, Tales first, Tales Unlimited, and Everfest first. And again, you see these big jumps here. Monarch first edition selling, ooh, what's that about? Yeah, close to 60 boxes itself on the bonus bucks sale. And Tales of Aria first edition selling about 40 boxes during the sale, bringing up the month-over-month comparison table. And again, you see these kind of crazy numbers here, but something we always have to ask ourselves in data analysis when we see these crazy numbers is, does it mean anything? And you could imagine if I owned a card store and 1 month I sell 4 booster boxes and the next month I sell 12 booster boxes, and I say, well, great, I increased my sales by 200% month over month, and you would rightly look at me sideways and say, but you still only sold 12 boxes the second month, and that's not a way to run a business. And so you kind of have to look at all the sides of these things when you look at month over month and year over year changes in sales or production or anything related to a business. And so, when we see something like Monarch First Edition bumping those sales up like that, yes, it's significant because, again, we said from the plot here, well, it sold about 60 of those boxes during the bonus buck sale. So again, if you strip those out, it doubled its sales from August to September. And so that is significant. So, you have to think about each of these data points independently and see where did we really start and where did we really end up. And it's interesting to see the price declines of these first edition boxes just continue. It's also interesting to see the comparison in things like Monarch First Edition to Monarch Unlimited. And you can see even on a bonus buck sale, people weren't chomping at the bit to buy those Monarch Unlimited boxes. And what it tells me is these are the investors coming in. They're looking for those original limited cold foils that were still in Monarch First, Tales First, and Everfest First. And the same thing here, 135 boxes of Tales of Aria First Edition compared to only 15 boxes of Tales of Aria Unlimited. Now, the price difference is a lot more muted. During the month, the average price difference was only $8, where the average price difference of Monarch First to Monarch Unlimited was $40. So let's move on. We'll take a quick look at History Pack. Of course, it's price. You know, this initially looks like it's all over the place, but then you see that the vertical scale here only ranges across about $5. Month over month chart, yeah, it went from 25 boxes to 48, so it just about doubled during the month, and the price was very steady, down 1%. And we'll put some of these later boxes, Uprising Dynasty and Outsiders, just to quickly look at how they did. Of course, more big jumps during the bonus buck sale. Dynasty selling, about 40 boxes, maybe just shy of that. Month over month performance of those sets, again, a little more muted, which is what you expect. There's probably not a lot of investors coming in and scooping up large positions of these boxes at great prices right now. For one, they're still all around that $70 to $80 price point that they've been at for quite a long time. And, well, their availability is just a lot better. There's a lot more of them out there in the market to be had. And the collectors and long-term investors aren't that excited for these boxes yet. So you would kind of expect these sales to be more driven by current players and collectors. Outsiders went up 110%. That's a little surprising since it's in that period of its life where you would expect it to be cooling off. It's the third oldest set right now, if you count Bright Lights, which is not yet in full release. And you'll see here prices pretty stable of these more recent sets. Now I want to change this over. We'll change the horizontal scale to days since release, and we're going to look at Bright Lights, Dusk Till Dawn, and Outsiders. So the three most recent releases. And to explain the horizontal scale here, this is days since release, and they're negative, meaning I'm looking at the pre-release period of all three of these expansions with their release day lined up here. So where days since release is 0, that's where each of them released. And so what this allows me to do is compare the performance of products at the same relative point in their lifetimes. And what we can see here is Bright Lights is doing pretty bad, even with a bonus buck sale to potentially lure a lot of buyers into the market for those discounts. It's still way behind the previous two expansions, the yellow line of Outsiders and the red line of Dusk Till Dawn. In fact, on the cumulative spend plot, it's only about half of what Outsiders had sold at this time and only about a third of what Dusk Till Dawn had sold at this time. And I don't have a good explanation for this. If you have a good idea for why this might be, why it's lagging so far behind at this point, let me know. I mean, I know we're kind of dealing with a different environment where, at least earlier this summer, WotC was bringing it pretty hard with Lord of the Rings and then potentially Commander Masters, and it kind of fumbled that one at the 1 yard line. But I don't have a good explanation for why Bright Light should be doing so poorly, but the data are the data. So we'll take a look at this every month, as we always do. This is the 19th or 20th month that I've been doing monthly updates on Flesh and Blood sealed box sales data off of TCG Player. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see. Bright Lights will be in full release, and, you know, it's not unheard of that sets just kind of hit a point, and you can see it here, this red line of Dusk Till Dawn, where it puttered along until suddenly it took off, and potentially Bright Lights just hasn't taken off yet, but we're getting kind of down to the wire. So we'll find out next month when I take the first look at these data after Bright Lights has released. And all importantly, we can see, does it get that kind of good launch upwards post-release and then start to level off nicely, or will it just kind of stutter continuously? Let me know what you think. Thanks to everyone who makes this content possible, especially my supporters on Patreon. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Final Trade.